Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful day here in the Mushroom Kingdom. We are getting underway in another race of Super Mario Brothers 3 Randomizer here on SpeedGaming. I'm Cycle, and I'm joined by LZ Cards fan. How you doing, Cards?
I'm doing pretty good, and we don't have much time for an intro because these runners are underway. On the left, we have Mitch Flowerpower, who is currently undefeated and vying for a potential #1 seed in the bracket stages, versus DaveLindo, who is trying to keep his hopes in Group C alive to advance to the brackets. On the right side, we have in Group H, raikourider versus fcoughlin. fcoughlin looking for his first win in group play. raikourider would like to try and sweep to go to 3-3 and give himself a shot at making it to the bracket stages himself.
And we have two different seeds that these runners are going to be running tonight. As you can see, we're getting rather level 1s levels in the first world, and this is because the worlds are in vanilla order in the first seed that we're running. As you see, we have different enemies, that Boss Bass infiltrating 1-2. And the levels are basically going to be where you expect to see them. The world you expect to see them in, just shuffled around. There's going to be a few exceptions with forts and levels changing places because some forts may move between worlds, but other than that, the worlds are exactly where you expect to see them.
You're right about that, and fcoughlin taking down Boss Bass not once, but twice with the use of that star, man. And next up, these runners are going to be tackling 1-3.
So getting a somewhat vanilla-ish order here, because these are two of the first three stages normally in the game that have already shown up here. Now, something that's going to be interesting is how the runners also utilize things like the end card game, because you can get some unique items from the end card game than compared to the normal game.
Yeah, that's right. You never know what those cards are going to produce if you make those matches. Now, Mitch opting not to take the three of a kind. He had actually gotten a mushroom on 1-2, but DaveLindo opted to get some insurance, so he's got 9 extra lives by getting the 3 stars. And double takedowns in 1-3 by both Raiko and Fred.
Both are having issues with that. 1-3 is causing issues on both runners on the right side here, whereas Dave is keeping up somewhat. Mitch is about a level ahead at this point. Dave is going through the fortress. Mitch is in 1-6.
Yep, 1-6. Mitch in 1-6, using the raccoon tail to his advantage. Dave not opting to go for the free item on top because we need to break that lock as Mitch gets his namesake from the cards. Now needs to take care of this hammer brother. We'll see what he gets. Raiko opting to go behind the curtain to get what the warp whistle would normally be in the vanilla game, and it is a hammer for both Fred and Raiko.
Now, they are not going against either runners on the left, but if they had been, that would be something that, if it is scarce elsewhere, could give them a huge advantage later on. However, they are against each other. They both have that hammer, no advantage here.
Yep, that's right. 2 runners on the left are going against each other, 2 runners on the right going against each other, and we have a very thick Larry Koopa, but not very healthy in the HP department. Just a 2-hitter, and Mitch is done with World 1.
Now, I know we were talking about these races before the run started, and Mitch has some very high potential for this race. Wouldn't you agree that's the case?
Well, absolutely. He was the runner-up in the 2018 tournament and was our 3rd-place finisher in the 2019 tournament. So he definitely has high hopes of trying to win the whole thing this year in 2020. If he does go 2-0 tonight against DaveLindo, he would go 6-0 and potentially take the #1 seed in the brackets based on what his times are.
So what he wants is a couple really fast seeds tonight to help give him a better chance of getting that quick time. We've seen some seeds of this tournament that have been longer times just because of the way they had to be run. He wants to find 2 really quick ones here today.
You're right about that. Raiko getting the 3 stars, so he's up to 7 extra lives. So yeah, DaveLindo would love to play spoiler and take away 1 game against Mitch. Not only would that be playing spoiler from costing Mitch the number 1 seed, but it would also keep his hopes of making it to the brackets alive, because he would go to 2-2, and against DLP, or excuse me, Glumatic Acid, if he wins just 1 of those games, he would advance to the brackets.
Mitch not having any luck with the card game on his first go there. Found 3 different items and then a 4th item that matched one of those 2 that you can get on the second trip.
We see Mitch now in 6F2. Interesting, 6F2 here in World 2. That means we're not going to see 6F2 in World 6, which also means there's going to be at least 2 forts here in World 2.
Interestingly, this always seems to be the fort that tends to change worlds, I find. In a lot of the seeds I've called, this one fort shows up either World 1 or World 2 most of the time, so it's not a surprise to see that fort early.
Usually I see 5 F2 show up. That's the one that has the red colored fort. Mitch having a little bit of trouble with the Fire Bros there and picks up a Jukum Cloud for his effort. Speaking of Jukum Clouds, that is the item that Princess Toadstool is going to give all 4 of our runners for completing World 1.
And that cloud in the first seed more so than the second, but in both, but more on the first, it's going to be a huge strategy aspect because there are several levels that these runners obviously know is behind the card in question. For example, the 5 in World 7 is going to be stage 7-5. Long stage that requires about 40-45 seconds of running around. We're going to have a couple of swimming water levels in World 6. You're going to have the famous 5-9, which is an auto-scroller. Where you use those clouds and how you get around the world in those later worlds, it could be a criterion who wins these races today.
You're right about that, Raiko. Picking up 1 match in the card game. It was a flower, but we're not going to see what that flower is at the moment. On the right side here, Raiko versus Fred. Ooh, and Mitch getting sandwiched between that Koopa Troopa and the Cheep Cheep there. Just had no chance right there in 2-1.
That's the exact word I was going to use for that. He literally got sandwiched in between a rock and a couple hard places.
Well, this is not very much of a rock and a hard place for Mitch. He just picked up a hammer. That is another hammer on the ledger for Mitch, and already he's going to be on his way to the World 2 airship.
So, World 2 airship, we're only 6 minutes into the race. This is how good Mitch is this game. He goes through these seas blazingly fast.
So here is the saltiest Koopa on the planet, Morton Koopa, and only 2 hits, not a very salty one. And Mitch, I think, got high enough to get the animation skip. As Fred Coughlin takes down the Boom Boom in 6F2, DaveLindo now finds himself in 2-1, and raikourider in the Spike Fort, it's Fort 2.
And you were right. Mitch did get the animation skip. Went right past the animation, already getting the wand to the king, and that saves, I don't know, about 5-6 seconds.
Yeah, something like that. It's quite a bit of time. And next up, we've got World 3. Now, on the right side between raikourider and Fred Coughlin, they really would like to get a sweep out of this to keep their hopes alive, especially raikourider. That would get himself to 3-3. Fred, if he were to sweep DLP, Raiko would get into the bracket stages. Now, if Fred sweeps, then that match between him and DLP is definitely going to have big-time ramifications.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that before we go to break here between the races. There is a lot of ramifications related to this, and who wins the first race is going to really develop what we want to talk about here. Let's continue with the race for now, though. We do have Mitch in World 3. Again, the levels are appearing in a somewhat vanilla order in this. We saw 3-1, we're seeing 3-2. So we're seeing somewhat vanilla level order here.
Raiko gets his hammer from the World 5 variety of Hammer Brothers stages there, and now Raiko will take his turn at 2-1. Fred needs to make sure he doesn't fall. Oh, that was close.
Right? Raikou has one of the sandwiches that Mitch had for lunch.
Oh, that is brutal there. Mitch now back to the cards, finds a pair of stars. No match on the 10 and 1 up. He can miss twice after that. Ooh, a nice break there on 10. Now he's got to find the 20 and finds the 20. How about a mushroom? There's a match.
Ooh.
Finds a flower. There's the 1-up.
Oh, good matching.
Ooh, not quite, but 6 pairs of matches there.
A couple Hammer Brothers suits.
Nice, and a leaf. Very good items there from the end card game for Mitch. He could be all set for the rest of this run as we now enter 3-6.
That Hammer Brothers suit gives for the quickest Koopa fight. If you can get to Bowser with it, you can finish the game very quickly. So that is definitely going to be saved for Bowser's Castle. We're going to try and get through the last part of that game as fast as possible.
Mitch, knowing his skill level, no chance he's going to go for the fireworks here. He's currently got 6 extra lives. DaveLindo now taking his shot at the cards. Can he find the 20? Nope, that's the 10. Looks like he might have the same rack as Mitch in the card game.
There's another Hammer Brothers suit.
Wow, as if we didn't have enough Hammer Brothers suits already. Boy, the rich just keep on getting richer here, Cyclone.
No kidding. This is already more Hammer Brothers suits, I think, that you can get in the main vanilla game.
Right about that. I think you can only get like 1 or 2. Here's 3-4 for Mitch. Now Raiko currently trailing against Fred here. Fred entering World 3, but Raiko just completed World 2, taking down Morton Koopa. He'll be moving on to World 3.
And Mitch gets through 3, 4. And let's see what levels lie ahead on the map for Mitch at this point. The fort is here, and it looks like number 3 is over there where 5 normally is.
Yep, here's 3F2, the underwater fort that Mitch is in right now. Raiko is about to get his letter from the princess and another item to help him out, which is going to be, I don't know, went too quickly.
So Dave is going through, looks like 3, 6 right now.
Yes, indeed. Mitch now taking on Boom Boom here, and 3F2 having a little bit of trouble here. One more hit needed. He got him.
Now, someone might have been asking, why was the 3, 6, that's normally an auto-scroller level, why was it not auto-scrolling? Something we should point out is that auto-scrolling is turned off for the majority of the levels in the randomizer. The only one that, in this particular seed format, that is currently on is 5, 9. Every other level is turned off. The reason 5, 9 is on is because the level may not function correctly. You may not be able to get to the end based on how the platforms go if the auto-scrolling is not activated.
Yeah, you're correct about that. Another auto-scroller that is not turned off are the coin heavens. That's why you're not going to see runners generally. Look at that! Another hammer for Mitch. The rich continue to get richer here, Cyclone. As I was about to mention, we don't turn off the auto-scrollers in the coin heavens, and that is why 3-7 is typically not an item these runners are generally going to go after unless it's early.
And you were commenting about the rich getting richer. I think the seed randomizer realized that Mitch was running it, needed to generate a fast seed, because he's getting probably the best gift he can for a fast seed right now.
Yeah, and he wants to have a fast seed if he wants a shot at the #1 seed overall going into the bracket stages, as we're now going to find out if Wendy had her thick burgers or if Mitch is just going to fire her down. Just fire her down.
Wow!
That was a perfect kill right there for Mitch. Baconator's one of those.
Absolutely brutalized the poor girl.
Oh, absolutely, man. You're not gonna get too many ladies with that kind of treatment.
No.
All right, on the right side here, Raiko took care of the Boom Boom in 3F1, and Fred currently on 3-4.
Now you have a question in chat, how we know who's winning here. Just explain once again. The runners on the left are racing against each other. The runners on the right are racing against each other. So there are going to be 2 winners of each seed that we run here today. Someone on the left, someone on the right. We're going to, the way you know who's ahead is look at the world that each is in and where they are on the world map. The world number is located on the bottom. Even in the next seed where the worlds are scrambled, it will still show as 1, 2, 3, 4 in order regardless what world they're in. So that's the way you can tell if who's ahead.
Mitch back to the cars. He completes the board. He gets the last 3 on the bottom row, and going to check out the other pipe here, and we're going to have to build a bridge, and we find the rare World 7 Beta Hammer Brothers stage layout. If there were any Hammer Brothers in World 7, this is what the stage would look like, but there aren't any.
We found World 4, Fort 2. I don't know what the name of this fort is.
Some people call it the Donut Fort because of the donuts are in the first half of this fort.
I can see that. And Boom Boom is destroyed again.
Yep, another fire kill there for Mitch as DaveLindo now in the World 3 airship. He's not going to have the fire suit to take down Wendy, so now we're going to get an idea of how many hits she is, and this is not a good start for
this is
Dave.
not.
This is really not a good start. Trying to set it up, 1 hit. No, it's not a 1-hitter.
Oh, too close to the wall.
Yeah, that's a tough one there for Dave. And that is not what you want to do against a runner like Mitch.
No, when you're against a runner like Mitch, you have to have everything go perfect. Even if it's not as fast as you can possibly go, you have to try and keep everything perfect because you're relying on Mitch to make a couple of mistakes. And if you can keep your run perfect, even if it is slower, you can still come out ahead.
Oh, absolutely. And Mitch really hasn't made any mistakes up to this point. The only mishap he had was the 2-1 sandwich there. Otherwise, he's kept the sheet clean here.
To be fair, that 2-1 sandwich might be something that would catch a lot of runners.
DaveLindo takes care of Wendy on the second try, however, and he'll be moving on to World 4. However, Mitch is about to be done with World 4 and Iggy Koopa coming up.
Wow, excellent demonstration of how to run World 4 airship. I don't see, not every runner is able to run it the way that he just ran it. That is how you do it perfectly.
Ooh, Iggy, a lot of HP. It's a 4-hitter there, but Mitch takes care of him, keeps his fire suit. He'll be moving on to World 5. By the way, the letter in World 3 anchors, and that anchor could mean anything, Cyclone.
It could.
Very close race between Raiko and Fred on the right side, but Mitch is starting to pull away against DaveLindo here in game number 1, and we get the famous Lou Gehrig speech from the king, one of my favorite phrases.
And what does Peach give? A Tanuki suit.
Interesting. This is a 3-fort World 4 because this is 6F3, the carpet fort. We did not see that on Mitch's side, so this is not going to be the right fort to build the bridge, as Mitch is now in 5-1, and 5-1's location, no less, picks up a Fire Flower. Dave in 4F2 getting ready to take on the Boom Boom. Let's see how he does in that fight. One more, and he got him. Raiko takes care of 6F3, and now Fred's in 6F3 with the frog suit.
He used the anchor entry into a frog suit, so there you go.
Oh, could be worse. We'll take a frog suit any day of the week. Who knows? It might be the only time we see a frog in this particular set of flags. Ooh, Mitch down to small. Good safe play there, not running over the hot foot there. Just needs to take care of Boom Boom.
And that was the fire for it as well, so that's a very hot place to be, needless to say.
Yeah, but Mitch makes quick work of the Boom Boom, moves on to the next level. Raiko gets a star here in the Donut Fort. Fred about to wrap up 6F3. He does. DaveLindo in that same 6F3. Boom Boom down on his side. Here's Raiko's chance against Boom Boom here in 4F2. We need a couple more hits. One more, and he got him.
Done. So it looks like we have Fred working Donut Fort right now, picking up his Starman right behind raikourider. And Mitch is already in the World 5 airship.
Yeah, he's got a lot of resources. In fact, he has so many resources. He's using the Hammer Brothers suit in the World 5 Fort. Roy's our boy, but how beefy is he? 1 hit, that's not enough. And he's got Earthquake. 2 is not enough. 3, no, sir. How about 4? 4 hits. Thick. Oh, he was ready to go for this race, but when you're up against somebody like Mitch, it doesn't matter. You got no chance.
We haven't seen any 5-hit Koopas in this race yet either, I don't believe. I still remember seeing one that had about 6 of them.
Oh, by the way, because Mitch completed the airship with the Hammer Brothers, we're going to get a special phrase.
Hammer Brother! In the castle! Thought you ought to know.
So let's see what kind of item the princess gives Mitch here, and it'll be a P-Wing. That could come in handy. Meanwhile, Raiko in the lead against Fred. He's the first one to the World 4 airship, and Fred now in 4F1, which I believe is the fort needed to build that bridge. Let's see how Raiko does against Iggy here. Remember, it was a 4-hitter. There's 3. 1 more to go. Got him.
Those fire snakes are everywhere today. They're even working in Ice World.
Oh, man. Yes, indeed. DaveLindo now in the World 4 airship, but he's going to need a lot of help from Mitch to come back in this one. I mean, Mitch has just turned on the afterburners. I think he's feeling it. He wants that #1 seed.
Oh, I guarantee you he knows what's on the line. If he can pull off a couple good seeds, and he knows he's getting everything he needs to pull off a fast one here. So barring a very slow seed in the second seed, and just in terms of how it's run, this might be a good way to guarantee him a #1 seed, just getting a quick one right here.
You're absolutely right there, Cyclone, here, as DaveLindo completes the World 4, and we'll be moving on to World 5. Fred at the cards, but no match. The board goes back, and Raiko now in 5-1, but Fred ready to go for the World 4 airship.
5-1 is one of those stages that I would skip if I could, because it's a long trek getting up and over those that cliff, that mountain you have to climb, and then come back down the other side. So that can be a little longer than it looks when you first go in.
Mitch is trying for the 6-5 clip here. He's in 6-5 right now, which, by the way, had a boss bass that despawns right there. But Mitch gets the clip.
Nice.
Oh my goodness gracious. Who cares about boss pass? Who cares about having a tail? I'm getting out of 6-5 with my fire suit.
Tail schmail.
Yeah, who needs that fox anyways, right? Let's move on to the next one. And he's got a hammer, so unless there's a bridge, he's just going to be ready to go to World 7.
Yeah, he's, and we're going to have to see. World 7 is where things really start to get interesting because we're going to have a pipe maze, and it's not going to be about just getting through the levels fast. By the way, this is 2 here, so this level came into this from the World 6 fort being moved to World 2.
You are
so
absolutely
World
right.
7 is not about just finding... World 7 is not just about finding the levels and going through the levels fast. You have to find the pipe solution to get to the end of the world as quick as you can.
Correct. And now, Mitch hoping no bridge need to be built. Let's take a look. No bridge needs to be built. He's on his way. So here we go. Mitch in the World 6 airship where Lemmy Koopa awaits. And typically when I'm doing commentary, he's a one-hitter. Let's see if that holds true again or if he finally becomes a jumbo shrimp. Raiko in the 5F1 takes care of Boom Boom. He'll be moving on.
And meanwhile, Mitch down in Lemmy's
He's
world.
a shrimp again!
You got a one-hitter!
I'm telling you, it's a blessing when I'm doing commentary when these runners have to go against one of the tougher Koopas in Lemmy. He's a shrimp again.
I think that's the first one I've done where he's been a shrimp. Maybe
First
second.
one you've done? Man, you got to do more commentary with me.
Maybe I do. Maybe I do.
I don't know what it is. But Mitch is done with World 6 just under 22 minutes. If this is one of those World 7s that is just one pipe and boom to the exit, yeah, he could post potentially the fastest time of the tournament. What is the fastest time, I wonder, at this point?
I don't know, but I know GamerCow had a race where 2 seeds were both sub 30. So
well, a bridge and a lock on the island. So obviously Mitch doesn't like what he sees on that pipe, so he's going to play 7-9. And not going to do the clips this time. He's going to fly up, which is definitely the preferred strategy. Raiko about ready to be done with 5-2. Fred's in a Fire Brothers situation here. Picks up a 1-up. Already has 13 extra lives and gets a mushroom. Mitch having some trouble here in 7-9.
Yeah, Mitch is down to one last hit.
Now, finds a power-up, and that'll help him.
He's at the end now, though, and just has to survive whatever's on the other side of this pipe. So far, nothing. And still nothing, and that's it.
Yeah, there's nothing at the end. I know with some stages there is a Hammer Brother on the left or right, but in 7-9 there isn't anything.
No.
All right, Mitch going to check out this pipe. He's hoping it takes him to the promised land, which, well, now it's another game of pick the pipe.
Will this be the promised land?
No,
it's a Piranha. Now, he's using the advantage of the screen scroll to skip the Piranha stage, because if you land on that plant as you screen scroll, or a Hammer Brother as well, then you can move to the next direction immediately after that screen scroll is complete. You don't actually have to do that stage.
Found it, and we had 3 forts in World 7 this time around. Had another hammer and the music box. He's on his way to the airship. Raiko, however...
I was going to say, sub 30 is definitely possible with his seed at this point if World 8 lines up correctly.
Well, World 8 tends to not cooperate, though. No. Let's be honest here. But even with someone like Mitch at the podium here, but you never know. This could be one of those rare God World 8s. If that's the case, that's really going to help Mitch's chances of maybe capturing that #1 seed. Here's the Luddy fight. 1 hit's not enough. There's 2. And 3. It's a 3.
That's vanilla. So no really overpowered Koopa kids today. A couple 4s, a Shrimp Lemmy.
Yep, no 5s yet. Raiko currently has the lead on Fred. He just started World 6. He's in 6F1. Fred about to ramp up World 5 against Roy. He's got the fire suit in hand. He may have a shot at a fire kill. We'll see what happens here as he's about to start the fight right now. He's going to go for the regular fight. Remember, it was a 4-hitter. There's 3. Needs 1 more and got him. Nice job there for Fred. Let's see. Well, we're not going to know because, remember, in Randomizer, Koopa does give an item at the end, but you have to check your inventory to find out what it is. That's not the case in the vanilla game. All right, people in chat, predict how many bridges it is going to take to get to the path to Bowser's Castle.
How many they have to build, or how many they have to on the map?
How many on the map?
Is that a Hammer Brothers suit in the hand stage?
Another Hammer Brothers suit. So all hand stages are going to be Hammer Brothers suit. Can you believe this? Mitch finds the army, but it looks like this is required, so he's not taking the intentional here. He is going to play it out.
So this is the tank stage. I actually think this is harder than the so-called super tanks. When I was a kid, I had a hard time with this stage.
I have to agree with you there, and it's a longer stage as well. And
it is.
I mean, you have the one power, but you have to go a long ways, and then you have to go a long ways, and then we have a fire suit, but thankfully, Mitch, well stocked. Let's see what it's going to give him. A mushroom. Meanwhile, Dave just completed World 5. You know, he's played really well himself. The problem is, he's up against a buzzsaw right now.
And, well, raikourider just fed the fishies. One specific fishy.
Yep, indeed. Oh, and that was also a Hammer Brother completion for DaveLindo as well. So far, we have seen one lock, and I've only seen the one lock. We could see several bridges. Let's take a look. Now, there's another lock, so no more than 2 bridges. Here's another pipe check for Mitch. Is this the one that's going to take him to Bowser's Castle? Yep, and 2 bridges required. And I'll tell you what, it was the first 2. We could have had a 4-bridge potential there.
There was actually a pipe on the other side of the first chasm of water, so it might be a 1 bridge.
Right. He might only need one of those 2 bridges. So I give credit if you say both 1 or 2. If you said 1 bridge, you are correct. If you said 2 bridges, you're correct.
Of course, the trick is find that other pipe though that leads to the one where you only need 1 bridge, especially if that one is built first.
Correct. Now Mitch is going to play the super tank stage here. Did take some damage, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem for him. And here's the boom boom fight. raikourider now in the World 6 airship, continuing to keep his lead on Fred as Mitch does indeed take down Boom Boom. He'll move on to the next one. DaveLindo finds himself in 6-5 and wants no part of that boss pass.
Now it looks like Mitch is going to go back into the pipes, having completed the second of his tasks of lock or bridge building stages. And pulls out a Starman to blaze through 8-1.
Now it looks like this may be required to complete this seed here, whether you like it or not. So unfortunately, this is not proven to be the God World 8 that I think Mitch was hoping for. It's a typical Great Equalizer World 8, if I do say so myself. But I'll tell you what, he played that 8-1 like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, he just slipped through that stage as quickly as you could.
Yeah, starting with that star, really gave him the edge he needed as he's now going to take on the Air Force.
And I'll be honest, 8-1 is another one of those stages that gave me nightmares for a while.
That's another one you might cloud over, but this is not a good idea to cloud over in this particular setup, given where the levels are and where required levels are as well. So, Dave in the middle of World 6 right now. Raiko currently in 7-9, but now he's down to Small Mario, having the same problem that Mitch had. And look out! Need to get that power, but he does just in time. And there is the shrimp going down on Fred's side. He'll be moving on to World 7.
Okay, Mitch may go looking for another pipe to take him past that first chasm and hope the second bridge is built. Let's see what happens here. This may be that pipe right here. There it is. Oh, you gotta be kidding!
Yep, we've got to beat in the Navy. Yes, you can sail the 7 seas. That is as far as I'm going to go, folks.
Have we seen the fort yet? I don't think we've seen the fort.
Oh, you're right. We haven't seen the World 8 fort. I forgot about that. Well, we'll see. Maybe it's the Navy. Maybe it's World 8. We'll find out.
Well, the pipe's nearby, so we're going to find out in a moment here.
All right, and Fred going to use the hammer to pick the lock here, and unfortunately he doesn't see very good stuff. He's going to play out 7-4. Meanwhile, though, Raiko, is he... Oh, he's out of hammers! He's out of hammers! Oh, you hate to see it.
And And by the way, Mitch just went to try crossing the bridge again, but the bridge was still not there. World 8 fort is needed to build the bridge. That's all 5 locations that have to be visited in World 8
I'll tell
for
you,
him.
One person right now who is happy to see Mitch struggling in World 8 is GamerCal, because remember, he's got the number 1 seed going into this, as Raiko does get the 7-1 clip, so he'll be moving on.
So Mitch is going to try and get through door 4 as quick as possible. A P-switch may do this in one shot. He is very capable of doing this. Let's see if he can run through and get it done. Takes a hit. That costs a moment of time, but he made it through.
Still managed to get the 1 cycle. Meanwhile, Raiko is in Fort Knox, but has no tail, so he's got to activate the P-switch, grab some coins, and grab this Tanuki suit. We do not know which level is the one that's going to break that lock. He's hoping it's going to be Fort Knox. Otherwise, he may have to play the dreaded 7F2. Yeah, Fred does have a hammer. This could turn the race around here, Cyclone.
Indeed.
Oh, and we have the sprite limitation problem on Fred's side. That can happen in 7-9. He can't break those icebergs. Now he's able to do so.
Wow.
There's the bridge for Mitch, so now he's on his way to Bowser's Castle. No star needed. Let's see if he can get those clips.
And it will not be a sub-30. He's now actually at 31 and 15 seconds. So, as you were saying, GamerCal is the person who advantages the most by this, because there's not going to be... He's going to have that few extra minutes on him that Mitch had to give up looking his way through World 8 here.
Absolutely. This had to be a full clear.
What a perfect clip!
That's exactly what Mitch wanted, because he doesn't have to go through the fireball gauntlet. It doesn't have to go through the laser statues. So here we go. Hi, Bowser.
And bye, Bowser.
And bye, Bowser. Get your GGs out for Mitch. He goes to 5-0 in Group C.
And we'll have his time as soon as he crosses the line here. But, yeah, 5-0. And Mitch is looking for that 6th win so he can have a perfect record. Going to try to still go for that number 1 seed. But it's going to be a lot harder to do it with the 2nd seed after a 32-second time here. His official SRL time is 32 minutes. Did I say seconds? 32 minutes and 4 seconds.
If he had a 32-second, that would guarantee him the number 1 seed.
That would guarantee him the number 1 seed. And that would also give him a lot of questions.
No worries, Cyclone. I've made that mistake a few times myself. You're good. All right. So now the rest of the runners here are going to be fighting for pretty much 2nd place. DaveLindo going to try and wrap this one up. Raiko, meanwhile, has completed World 7. He'll be moving on to World 8, so he currently still has the lead. So it looks like, I believe, now I could be wrong about this, I believe Fort Knox was the ticket.
Fort Knox... I was watching Mitch's side, so I didn't see a lot was happening on the right as I was commentating on Mitch, but Fort Knox seems like it might have been involved. I know that Mitch got through a lot quicker, though. I don't think he did Fort Knox. Did he?
No, because remember, he had the hammer, whereas Raiko did not.
Yeah. Oh, yes. True.
No, Mitch did not have to play a single fort in that World 7, but I tell you, he practically played a perfect first 7 worlds, but then World 8 doing World 8 things. So now we're going to go to the rest of the racers here. We have the audio on DaveLindo at the moment.
Yep.
Raiko versus Fred. Raiko takes care of Boom Boom here in the World 8 Super Tanks level, and he'll move on to the Army.
And we are seeing 7-5 on 2 screens here. One of the levels that runners absolutely loathe having to play. Were both runners on the bottom out of clouds?
They might have been. Not 100% sure on that. Now, DaveLindo was trying to do the block clip to get past, but DaveLindo decided to cash his chips in. Fred had a tail, so he doesn't have to do a clip. Raiko nicely able to dodge those fireballs from the Fire Brothers and gets a mushroom.
So let's see if raikourider finds his way to the fort very expeditiously here.
Dave trying Trying to get the clip here at the bottom. Let's see how many tries he goes for. And he gets it. Nice job for Dave.
So raikourider takes the pipe at the end of the path, finds his way to a lock, and yep, gonna go back.
Yep. He's not going to like what he sees in terms of the bridge situation. We know that the World 8 fort is required to build the bridge needed. And Fred, going to be doing the 7-1 clip with the raccoon tail. Not as easy as without. Let's see how he does.
Now, it looks like raikourider has already completed one of the bridges, so he did see the one bridge built. May not know that it was actually done by the fort. May have assumed it was a lock open somewhere, but either way, he has seen now that he has another bridge he has to build in order to get across.
Fred gave up on doing the block clip. He's going to play 7-1 out and having some trouble getting into the pipes here. Dave getting lost, though, in the pipe maze, and he's going to play 7-8, which I think is a brutal stage. I think it's the worst non-fortress stage in the game. What do you think?
It is absolutely one of those stages that is... Actually, it's worse than some of the fort stages in the game. I still remember...
I agree.
Like, when I first tried to get through the stage, just playing casually, I had a hard time with those 5 pipes at the start, with the 2 upside-down ones, no platforms, high res over every single one. It's a nightmare when you first try playing it.
Not to mention the fire nipper at the end. And if you didn't know about that pipe that had the Hammer Brothers suit, yeah, good luck, you'll need it. Meanwhile, Raiko now in the Air Force here. He's hoping this is the one that's going to build the bridge, but we know for a fact it's the World 8 fort that needs to be completed to build that second and final bridge. Fred completes 7-1. He'll move on to the next stage.
Now, it could be possible for runners to game World 8 to a certain extent. They might think if a runner has already done this area, I lose. They might choose to skip that area, try a different area, thinking that might be the one to do it. And that could be a case where someone can gain an advantage just by playing the mind games, thinking if they did this, I lose.
Raiko wants no part of 8-1. He'll take this pipe. And he's going to take the other pipes. So that's one way to not have to play 8-1 is to use that bridge in your favor. But now he's going to have to find that fort.
And it's not over here.
And Fred, unfortunately, in the same predicament that raikourider's in. He, too, is without a hammer. There's Fort Knox, which we believe was the right answer. We'll find out. And lucky for Fred, he does have the tail ready to go, so he does not have to play the coin game and get the Tanuki suit.
Fix the audio, move it over to Raikou here since he is the one ahead here at the moment. So we're going to follow him through Fort 8 at this point. He is on the right one to build the bridge, and he's going to get the bridge after he finishes this.
And yep, I can confirm to you, it was indeed Fort Knox. That was the ticket out.
We're going to have a 2 cycle for the for Raikou on getting through this particular fort.
Ooh,
he's going to use the clip here.
Nice
Nicely
clip.
done.
Yeah. He'll just wait for the P switch timer to run out, and he'll move on to the final boom boom fight before he moves on to Bowser's Castle.
Now, he didn't need to do that clip. He was just doing that to show the clip, I think.
That might have been. Still looks swag nonetheless, as Fred is now ready to take on Luddy Von Koopa. Let's see how he does. Remember, it was a 3-hitter, and got him. Ooh, and Dave, unfortunately, also without hammers, playing 7-1 and not having a swell time there. This time he's going to just go in small with the star.
Yeah, this is another of those levels you don't want to play, and this is one that you clip if you can do it.
There's the bridge built for Raiko.
And he's in a good position right now to win the first race over Fred. And that's going to have implications for both runners in terms of what happens. We'll talk about that more in a moment when we go to break.
You are correct.
Nice use of the hammer to take out the hot foot. You can't get rid of these discs, unfortunately. But I think with the Tanuki suit, you can stomp on the discs.
I believe you're right. Let's see if Raiko goes for the clip or just decides to take the top path door. He's just going to go to the door and hope for the best. Try to jump over all the statues and not get hit by his lasers. There were no lasers. That tells me right there there's going to be a laser at the end.
Not necessarily. I've seen an empty room.
Well, I know.
He does take the hit here. That's not good. And no lasers.
No lasers, period. But did lose the suit, but here's Bowser. Raiko, advantage him.
It's going to take a little bit longer to do this, unfortunately, and he doesn't want to get hit by that fireball, so he chooses to just let Bowser come at him again.
Right, because even though you can't get hit by Bowser with the exception of his head, you're safe if you hit his body, you can still get hit by the fireball, so you want to make sure you're out of the line of fire.
Now, in his case, he could take a hit, so he could have just stayed in the pit and relaxed there for a while as a small Mario, but he decided he's going to play it a little bit safer here.
He just wants the insurance, just in case Bowser does some trolling like that. But no matter, get your GGs out for raikourider. That is his second win. He goes to 2-3, and it keeps his hopes of making it out of the group play alive.
And we're going to have his official time in just a moment as he's about to cross the line. The Yadas are in chat, and that is an official SRL time of 40 minutes and 24 seconds. So about 8 minutes behind Mitch, but doesn't matter. It was a different matchup.
Yes, indeed. Raiko may have finished in second place, but he is probably thankful he's not playing against Mitch in this round. Meanwhile, it has been a struggle for DaveLindo here in 7-1. fcoughlin in 8-1 right now, and is in pretty good shape potentially to get through it on this particular attempt. DaveLindo just has to be careful. And what the heck is that donut?
That is some weird sprite thing that happens in that level. I don't know what it is.
Dave's got to watch out for anything that might rain down on him. We see this happen a lot. See that?
Whoa!
Oh! Another one!
Where is it coming from?
Getting ambushed all over the place by those piranha plants, and that is the danger, another danger of playing 7-1 Cyclone, especially if you have a totally different enemy set like that. You never know what might be coming from the sky, and unfortunately, it was not one, but two of those piranha plants.
I've heard of It's Raining Men, but this particular level, it's raining piranhas. That's not fun.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say, but this is ridiculous.
Oh, it is ridiculous.
That is brutal. And you got to feel for DaveLindo. I mean, he had played a really good race up to this point, but it just sometimes comes down to resource management. And Mitch had more or less perfect resource management in this race between all four runners.
So Mitch and Raiko are both going to get a little bit of a break here, as it looks like Fred and Dave are both going to try to finish the seed here, or at least one of them will, and we'll see if the fourth one, decides to continue at that point.
Now here's the thing, even if DaveLindo doesn't win any of his games, he will not be out of the tournament necessarily. That's why it's important that he tries to finish, because if there's a tie, which if he does sweep his final group stage match, he would have a tie. Fastest time counts, so he does want to try to finish as fast as possible.
And Fred does get through Boom Boom, and I didn't see which particular stage that was. I was watching Dave there, but that was the Navy, I think.
Yes, he completed the Navy, and Fred is not going to like what he sees when he checks Bowser's castle.
Nope.
Sees that no bridges are completed.
Well, the one was completed earlier, but he knew that one already.
Correct. Now, once again, DaveLindo going to try out 7-1.
Oh, looks like Mitch is giving us a cameo while we're on break here.
Yep, indeed, the old green screen effect. You have something like that on your stream, Cyclone?
I do not. I actually haven't done a lot of streaming yet, but I am hoping to soon.
No, I'll pass.
Yeah, I did eventually. I did at one point when I first did my couple tries streaming. I think I was playing Link to the Past Randomizer at the time, and I actually did have the camera on screen, but I'm thinking I might start just not showing myself on screen, because I think it's better to just show the game that way, and as big as you can without blocking it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And there's the first one. Now, he's got to wait for that Koopa Troopa to pass, but then he's got to catch this Koopa Troopa again.
There it
is. Takes them both down, and it's
the third one!
What the heck? The respawns! But the Koopa Troopa coming through big time for DaveLindo, and he is done with 7-1.
3 piranhas falling from up there. How is that even possible?
I want to say that enemy respawns, but I could be wrong. But that was crazy. I knew about the first two. I didn't expect the third one.
No, me neither. And as someone's saying in chat, that Koopa was a trooper.
Yeah, they are totally right about that. And now DaveLindo finds himself in Fort Knox. He'll be happy to know this is the correct fort that's going to break that lock. He does not have to play through the dreaded Piranha Fort in 7F2. Meanwhile, Fred, I don't know, did he just play World 8's fort?
I was busy watching the Piranha plants on Dave's side. I think he did, but I'm not sure. We're going to find out in a minute. He might still be looking for it.
He still might be lost for all we know. I mean, World 8 does that. That's why we call it the Great Equalizer. It's easy to get lost, so you better make sure you're marking your maps properly.
He did do 8-1 at some point along the way. He is passing through that.
Oh, that's right. He did do the World 8 fort. That's right. Yep, he's there.
There he is.
Yeah, because I almost called it 8-1. That's right. But then we got interrupted by the Patuis.
And raikourider gets through Statue Chaos and is going to be our third runner into Bowser's Castle. Let's see if he holds on to his Hammer Brothers suit.
Easier said than done. Couldn't get the clip on the first area where you could potentially do a clip. Now just has to show some patience here against these Rotodiscs. The Disco Waffles gets the clip and the Validation 1. Oh boy, he's got 19 extra lives at his disposal. That's quite a few.
So you're saying he can give up a few, is what you're saying?
Yep, no, he's not going to do the clip.
This is a different... I think we saw this statue already, so we know...
Remember, there were no lasers. No lasers, but... Oh!
I was going to say it's possibly the suit, but that's a weak loss of the Hammer suit.
Yeah, so he's going to have to do this in Small Mario, but he's done this many times. It should be no trouble for Fred. Let's find out.
And he does manage to stay underneath, so he's good to go. He can just sit there and have a picnic now.
He's just got to make sure he's not in the line of fire, and he should be good to go.
Yeah, a little bit of an oversight on the developer's part to not make Bowser's feet dangerous. Somehow you get stepped on and not get hurt.
Yep, just needs to wait for 2 more stomps, and he'll be on his way. DaveLindo in the World 7 airship. Remember, it was a 3-hit Ludwig von Koopa. Does have the fire suit. You might try for the fire kill. Nope.
Fred going for a little bit of style here, trying to have Bowser doing a little bit of a pattern for him.
But there it is. Get your GGs out for Fred. Bowser goes down, and he'll finish second in his heat against raikourider. He'll still have another match coming up. DaveLindo on his way to World 8.
And that's an official SRL time for Fred of 47 minutes and 9 seconds. And as you said, DaveLindo is still potentially in play here, so he is continuing to finish the seed. He has not put in a forfeit yet. He's still playing.
Yeah, actually, I think with DaveLindo finishing up, I think we can go ahead and talk about the implications that might be going on in both of our groups. I
think that might be a good idea now. In fact, I think it's probably a good idea with the race on the right finish to talk about Raikou and Fred at this point, because that's the one that has a lot of huge implications swirling around it right now.
Yep, they are in Group H. So here's the implications going on right now in that group. With that win, raikourider goes to 2-3. If he wins, he goes to 3-3, and that would force DLP to win both of his games against Fred Coughlin to advance to the bracket stages along with TX out of Group H. If Raiko loses, he drops to 2-4. Fred goes to 1-3, and DLP would have to win just one game against Fred to move on to the bracket stages himself. But if Fred sweeps the series against DLP with the win against raikourider in Game 4, he moves on to the bracket stages along with Teeks.
So this second game is going to give a lot of information as to what's going to happen in that remaining matchup that Fred has to play later on.
Here's the implications in Group C. With the win, of course, Mitch goes to 5-0, and if he goes to 6-0, and if his time is fast enough, he may pull the #1 seed going into the brackets. Now, for DaveLindo, he goes to 1-2. If he wins, he goes to 2-2, and against Glumatic Acid, that matchup is going to be hot because whoever wins that battle moves on to the bracket stages. If there's a tie, time will be the factor in that one. If Dave loses against Mitch in game number 6 for Mitch, game number 4 in DaveLindo's case, he goes to 1-3. He would have to sweep that series to go to 3-3, and that would allow him to advance against Glutamic Acid.
DaveLindo has begun his pipe exploration of World 8 and has found a couple locks that he doesn't want to contend with. He's probably going to find his way at the dead end very shortly, like now.
Yep. So, DaveLindo.
He's been down this pipe, but now he's going to do more exploration down here.
Actually, I've just been corrected. I guess time is not... I think time is only the essence for seeding. Time is not of the essence for ties in group play. If there's a tie in group play, they have a one-game playoff using the bracket seeds. So I do stand corrected on that. I do apologize for that. But that's why we have our very smart and intelligent Twitch chat to help us out whenever we make a mistake like that.
And we always love having you all here to watch as well. Not only here on Twitch, but also here on our YouTube channel at SpeedGaming Show. And we have a huge playlist of all the races from this tournament. So if you're watching on YouTube, we hope you are enjoying all the tournament races here on this playlist.
And by the way, we haven't gotten to the bracket stages, obviously, but there's going to be two major changes in the bracket stages. Number one, the hammers which we use to break the locks are no longer going to break the locks. It's only going to be able to break boulders. And number two, the good old classic concentration game, the end card game, that's going to be going away. Well, Dave sees the good and bad news. He's found the way out, but the bad news is he has not found the correct stage to build that bridge. But he's going to play the Air Force and he's going to play the Navy, but he's going to find more disappointment.
Apparently the YouTube is SpeedGaming channel, by the way. My mistake on that.
Everybody makes mistakes. Like I said, I just made one. We're only human.
Yep.
So let's see how Dave does here in the Air Force. It's a good thing the auto-scroller's turned off because this stage gave me nightmares as a kid because this would be going so fast. The only way I could beat it is with the wing.
It feels like a picnic with the auto-scroller off. But those jumps are still tough.
Yeah, 'cause there are some tall jumps toward the second half and some very lengthy gaps as well. Of course, you got to worry about the rocky wrenches, throwing those wrenches at you. Now he's going to take the Navy stage. And again, DaveLindo, you can't fault him for making this plan. We know he's got to do World 8-4, but you can't fault him. He's got 2 chances. I mean, it's a 2 and 3 chance. It's just odds are not going to be in his favor this time around.
And you're going to go for the stages you can do quickest. Oh, that's not going to make it quick. But you're going to go for the stages you can do quickest and try to get those out of the way first, gambling that those are the ones you need. Now, since this is not a live race anymore, he can't try to game this in any way like I was suggesting earlier. He knows it's just him racing now. So he's just going to play whatever stages he can, hope it's the right way to do it.
This was a better attempt there for DaveLindo. Let's see if he can take down this Boom Boom. There's 2 hits and...
Question in the channel, did all 4 runners have the same seed? Yes, they did. It's actually our left runners are racing each other, the right runners are racing each other, but they are playing the same seed.
Yeah, and DaveLindo sees the bad news. He now knows he's got to beat the World 8 fort.
Yeah, he has done the Air Force. I don't think there's a lot of other... Oh, that's an unfortunate slip.
He may have just realized, I don't have to play this stage. Or, that might have been an unfortunate slip. Let's see.
He's stopping and thinking, apparently. He has registered a forfeit. He has actually forfeited from the race.
Yeah, he knows what the situation is. He knows what he's got to do. And again, as we had mentioned after the correction, time doesn't matter in terms of ties. If there is a tie for second place in the group play, the 2 tied players will have a 1-game playoff with the bracket seeds to determine who advances to the bracket stages at that point. So at this point, DaveLindo is going to wave the white flag. We're going to move on to game number 2 very shortly. But still, get your GGs out for DaveLindo. He played really, really well through the first 6 worlds, but then Worlds 7 and 8 do what World 7s and 8s does best. So game number 2 coming up.
Yep, we are going to get the racer set up for that second race. We're going to step out for a moment, take a break, refresh our, refuel our drink containers, and get ourselves ready to call an exciting, much more random second race coming up. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, for race number 2 between raikourider, Fred Coughlin, Mitch Flowerpower, and DaveLindo, all coming up here on this main channel, SpeedGaming. We are the second of 2 races right now, and we have a much more random seed type than we did last time, don't we, LZ?
That's right, Cyclone. Or you can call me Laws or LOZ.
Laws, yeah.
Either is fine. This is a flag set number 2, so we have everything flip-flopped here. We got the worlds shuffled up. We've got all of the levels shuffled up as well. Plus, we've added a few surprises. There are going to be some beta levels that I'm sure are going to pop up, and one beta level we don't want to see is one that we affectionately call Atlantis. Remember those auto-scrollers that are turned off for the most part? Well, that's an auto-scroller that is not turned off.
Well, maybe they don't want to see it, but we kind of do because we want to see them suffer, right?
Right. So people in chat predict what world we are going to start with here. Number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7.
Again, 8 is not valid because it is always the last world. What do you think is going to be first, Laws?
2.
I always like to see 7.
6.
6.
All right, 6 it is. There could be up to 3 panel 10s here, depending if we have 1, 2, or 3 forts. So far, we see 2 forts. There's all 3. All 3 on the same screenshot, and Mitch not off to a good start with those Boomerang brothers. Oh, this is even worse. The water screen. Speaking of water, we have 3F2 on Raiko's side. Unfortunately, missing up on that power, but good thing for Raiko. Guess what? It respawns.
We already found door for it, so that is being done very speedily. It looks like Raiko decided to stop for the power up. We're going to get this synced up for you in just a moment as well.
Absolutely here. And Fred trying for the flower here. He's going to have to do a very difficult jump. Almost got it there. He gets it this time, but with that, Raiko is going to take a lead on him now. This is a must-win for Fred Coughlin. He is currently 0-3. If he loses, he'll drop to 0-4, and he's going to be eliminated from bracket play. If Raiko wins, that would take him to 3-3, and it would keep his hopes of advancing to the bracket stages alive and well. So next up on this panel, we have 4-6. Oh, and Mitch, another is claimed again, this time by a sledgehammer brother.
I'm not having a lot of good luck with the Koopa kills so far here. I should say Boomerang, the turtle kills is what I mean to say.
Yeah, we all get tongue-tied by the many different types of Hammer Brothers that we see. And that was a much-needed one-up that Mitch just found there. And, oh, great kill of the Fire Bros there. Gets a star for his efforts. That is a dangerous screen. Mitch made that look easy.
Fire Brothers are probably the worst turtle you could face in any of these. Even the Sledge Brothers are weak compared to them, in my opinion.
Right, I agree. I would rather face a Sledge Bro than a Fire Bro. P-Wing there for Fred. DaveLindo taking care of the Hammer Brothers on his side. Gets a P-Wing of his own. Raiko clears his screen, gets the music box, and we have a hand stage. It is the cheap stage that Fred almost falls off. He's able to stop himself in time. Now, whatever prize is in the chest at the end is going to be the prize in all 3 hand stages if we see more than one. Look at this.
So
we have 3F1 and 3F2 now as well to go with it.
So what is the hand prize going to be? We're going to find out in just a moment here. It is a P-Wing. That's actually not a bad hand prize.
Yeah, pretty good prize. If there's a stage that we see that we don't like, we can pay the 100 coin toll and use a P-Wing to just skip over if we don't have that Jugum Cloud. Fred in some trouble, though. He's in the water with these Boomerang brothers. It takes them both down on one swoop. That was crazy.
Not bad. And Boom Boom is down for Raiko. Boom Boom is going to go down for Mitch.
Yeah, pretty even between Mitch and DaveLindo here. Dave with a slight lead as Raiko finds that same hand stage. He'll get a P-Wing if he's able to clear it. Fred now in 3F2, the water fort.
And the hand stage being done by our left runners right now and also by raikourider. So they're going to get their first P-Wing.
Yes, indeed. Dave used the star there and gets through that cheap stage. No trouble at all. And now 4-4.
4-4. We found the. This could actually be dangerous, but if you swim fast enough, you can avoid getting hit by any of those spinies and get through this level quickly.
Mitch with the pro strats. bopping that Jugen Cloud to skip a fair portion of this stage. But he just comes back very quickly, and boy, when he throws those spiny shells into the water, he does it quick, expeditiously, as it were.
The water is at a different level on each side, too, so it's actually a different height that the cloud comes back at, that he comes back at.
Dave able to just sneak into the finish line before that spiny could chase after him, and now the third fort of World 6 is 4F1. Mitch and Raiko in the same stage. Raiko taking the bottom path. I would imagine Mitch will take the upper path, which he does, hoping for a star. Not even going to bother to check. That was a great 4F1 there for Mitch. Just needs to take care of Boom Boom, which he does. Raiko's turn.
He could have stopped for the start. Might have given him a couple extra seconds, but still a negligible amount of time. Unless you have a very close race on hand, then you probably want those couple seconds.
Dave, meanwhile, looks like he's going for upper path as well. Nice duck there. Takes damage there. Is there a star? No, it's a mushroom.
No, it's a mushroom. It's a good thing you didn't check.
Mitch found his namesake in the end card game, so he did get one match, but we're not going to find out what that prize is right now. Here's another hand stage. 2 hand stages here in World 6.
Wow.
My favorite one, the coins. I'll get another P-Wing.
But you know what that means? It means you get 2 P-Wings, yeah.
That's great. Here's the end card game for Raiko. Let's see if he fares better than Mitch did. No match on his
Mushroom
first go.
Star. Flower.
Ooh, nice. There's a match. 1 up. No match there. Did get 1. The same flower that Mitch got, and we're not going to find out what it is just yet.
Now,
panel 7 or panel 3? Panel 3, and it's 6-7.
Now, for those who might be looking at this and thinking, the card game is seeded, like in Link to the Past Randomizer, where, Aghanim is seeded and things like that. No, they're not seeded at all. The card games are completely random. They're not even the regular 8 patterns you see in the vanilla game. They are completely randomized.
Yeah, it's 8 different patterns. Both runners could potentially get the same pattern. We've seen that before. But yeah, the patterns are different than the vanilla counterpart. Raiko able to keep his fire flower the entire way here in 6-7, which I could never do because I always like to shoot the coins on the left, but no one's going to do that. Not even for swag points. Raiko taking the fireworks, 5 extra lives. He's now got 10. Mitch also,
Wait, Tommy, I've shot the coins before. But I'm not speedrunning either, so.
Right, that doesn't count. Here's the World 7 airship. By the way, Mitch also opting to take the fireworks. He was down to just 1 extra life, so in his case, I certainly don't blame him for taking the insurance.
World 7 airship is the first airship. That's the hardest of the 7 airships, so seeing that first.
Now, we are going to have Lemmy Koopa at the end. Mitch will be the first one there. Is he going to be a one-hitter again? Let's find out. He is! He is! The shrimp again!
What is it with you and Lemmy being buddies and he just doesn't want to play when you're...
I have no idea. But twice, Lemmy, the ultimate shrimp, easy kill for Mitch, easy kill for Raiko, should be an easy kill for DaveLindo. Man, gotta love it.
Meanwhile, we're going to need a bigger airship.
Oh, that's for sure. I don't think there's going to be a big enough airship to hide weakling Lemmy there as we move on to World 1. The item was a mushroom, and we need to build a bridge, but there are 2 forts. Could it be 4F2?
A bridge in World 1, that is a unique thing to have to do here.
That's right. So we'll see if the donut fort here is the ticket for Mitch, or if we have to play the second fort. Raiko in that same 4F2, having a little bit of trouble with that hot foot. Mitch on his way against Boom Boom takes him down. DaveLindo on his way to World 2. Fred gonna be delighted to see another one-hit Lemmy Koopa. He'll be moving on to World 2. It is anybody's game at this point, and unfortunately, we got to play the other one.
And I don't know if you saw Mitch's first jump onto Boom Boom there. That was a nice, stylish jump under the block, bonking of the block to get in just very tiny gap to get the most precise hit you probably could get on any Boom Boom here.
And you're talking about one of the most skilled Super Mario Bros. 3 runners in the world. Anybody could do swag like that. It's going to be Mitch. Here's the carpet fort, 6F3. This will be the one that will build the bridge here in World 2.
And he just did the entire fort with Boom Boom Boss music, and now he's getting the Boom Boom Boss music again.
Right. Now, talking about Lemmy here. I know Lemmy has been weak a lot when I do commentary, but listen, the law of averages is going to change eventually.
You mean it's going to be 5 hit next time you do commentary?
More than likely. We're going to be doing commentary again on Thursday, so it wouldn't surprise me. Mitch finding one match so far. There's a second match with the 10 coin. Finds another flower. Can he find the mushroom? He does. How about the 1-up? There's another match. Mitch, the last start. No dice.
Not
good
quite
round, though.
Board. Yeah, very good round. And I saw a Hammer Brothers suit and a Shinuki suit, I think, among the goodies.
Plus a fire flower as well, and a music box.
And we have nippers.
Ooh, but here is 5-3, another stage that people like to skip because of how long it is, and with that difficult enemy sets like runaway chain chomps, yeah, some people like to skip it.
I think I saw one of the fire nippers. It didn't jump. It actually just stayed on the ground. So I think that was a fire nipper. It just didn't spit any fire. So that could be more dangerous for other runners here. Do you want that?
Whoa! I thought Raiko was going to buy it there for a moment. That was a close shave right there. Just one more obstacle left to go. He's there. Mitch gets a fire flower power-up. Should be able to clear the rest of the zone, no problem. Yes, indeed. There's the fire right there. That was the nipper I was talking about. Yep, you're right. Next up is 1-2 for Raiko. He currently is our leader of all 4 of our runners at this point. Dave trying to blaze through the end of this 5-3 is at Super Mario at the moment. Gonna check the power-up. Yep, he'll get a fire flower. Should be able to clear the rest of this with little trouble. Just has one more jump left. There he goes. Mitch is done with 2-2, as is raikourider. Fred now in 5-3.
Mitch taking a slight overall lead, but just to remind anyone who is coming in late here, there are 2 different matchups here. This is not a 4-way. We have Mitch versus Dave. We have raikourider versus fcoughlin, Fred, the creator himself. So those are the 2 different matchups we do have going on, and both are in different groups. On the left is a Group C matchup. On the right is a Group H matchup.
We have a hammer from the coin ship stage there for Mitch. That's definitely going to help him out.
Oh, that will.
Pick up that same hammer. Here's the World 2 airship. We're going to have Larry Koopa at the end. We'll see if he is built with any strength. Raiko has his hammer. 1 hit. Okay. There's 2 hits, and that's
2
all.
hits.
2.
Yeah, they're generally weak in the seeds today, and there's another one of those screen skips, those animation skips.
Yep, Mitch nailing another one of those. Dave now in the Boomerang Brothers scene at the coin ship. He'll get his hammer. Fred in a little bit of trouble here in 2-2. He's going to get a much-needed star right there.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Yes, indeedy, Cyclone Raikou. Getting past World 2, moving on to World 3, we get a leaf from the princess, and it is World 2 in World 3's position.
A leaf is the same as a P-Wing, except the P-Wing is infinite.
We have 2-3 as our first stage here in World 3. Ooh, fire jump, getting Mitch there.
Now getting this stage can be interesting, especially with a fire snake just floating around right there. But he managed to jump over that and managed to go far enough the other way. He's going to have to do some dodging, though, and there's 2 of them coming after him. He's just going to take the hit and move on.
And that is fine, and Mitch done with 2-3. Raiko in the same 2-3 right now. Fred getting past the coin ship is now in the World 2 airship.
Now let's see how Raikou handles the fire snake chaos here.
So far, so good. He's hoping that the shell's gonna. Wow, this is gonna be hot right here. Boom!
Yeah, that is a hot ending. Needless to say.
Very nicely done. And we have another World 2 stage here. It's World 2-5.
Dave not getting to the end. He is getting sapped along the way, so that's gonna slow him down a little bit.
Yeah, and again, as I mentioned in game number 1, you don't want to be taking those kind of miscues against someone like Mitch. All right, back to the cards for Mitch. He's just got 3 more sets of cards left to go. No match on the 20. He should be able to clear it. He does.
Yeah, should be able to clear it now.
And gets a hammer. Another hammer. It was the 20.
Very nice. Now, there's not too many rocks to clear, but having those will be handy. So we'll see if the rocks end up being key to any of these worlds coming up.
Now, interesting. Raiko went up the vines there in 2-5. I wonder what the basis for his decision on that is, because that's a slower path.
Not sure.
But in any event, he'll move on to 3-1, and oh, Fred falling victim to the fire snakes.
Fred falling victim to his own randomizer, and the fire snakes just gaining up on him at the end of 2-3.
Would you believe another World 2 stage here in this World 2 map? This time it's the Oasis 2-4. We've seen 3 of the 7.
Is this even randomized? I can see chat asking right now.
Right. I don't know if we've seen a fort yet, but if it's I swear if it's a World 2 fort.
If it's a World 2 fort, yeah, so that's just, yeah.
Well, here comes that fort Mitch is about to enter. Come on, be World 2 fort. Come on, do it.
It looks like Fred had an easier time with the snakes that time. They did both decease themselves along the shell. And we are in fire fort.
Yep, 5F2 this time. So rip the dream at this point, but no matter. Mitch is just going to keep on running here. Just don't stop. Don't worry about anything that's in front of you, and just beat this fortress down to a pulp. Fred right now in 2-5. Dave at the cards trying to make some matches. Gets the 1-up. Looking for the star here. Can he find it? Yes. Now looking for the mushroom. We know where it is. Nope, that was the 20, so his turn is over. Raiko taking the upper path, doesn't want to deal with the riffraff on the bottom. It is slower, but definitely much safer with all the coins and fewer enemies. So he's just going to use that leaf, fly past everything, and move on. Not a bad play.
We have Sledge Brothers on Ice, which is the musical that you're not going to see coming from Disney.
Yes, I hear it's not going to be released until 2023.
Oh, they actually have a date on that now.
Yes, they just posted it tonight. Here's the World 4 airship. We're going to have Morton Koopa at the end. We'll see if he's any saltier than he was in the first race. He was just a 2-hitter in the first race. Raiko at the cards.
Yeah. Not very salty. Not very salty in the first race.
Nope, there's one hit. Oh, loses the fire. Well, that's enough salt as it is. Well, 2 is not enough. How about 3? 3 it is.
That's enough salt.
Just the right amount.
So the Koopa Kid's strength has been going up. We saw a 1, we saw a 2, we saw a 3.
Let's go for 4 and 4. Come on, make it happen, game.
Let's just skip straight to 5.
No. We got to do it gradually, Cyclone. We got to do it gradually. Raiko now in 5F2. By the way, he did complete his card, so now he's got all the items. And look at DaveLindo also taking the Oasis path and getting a 5 up in the process. He's now up to 11 extra lives. Let's see what the princess gives Mitch here from the letter. It is going to be a fire flower, his namesake.
You know, it's kind of strange. The king was commenting that life is like a box of hammers, but you didn't get a hammer from the princess?
Here's 3-7 with a boss bass. This is the stage I like to call jackpot, because in the coin heaven, you get an extra prize at the end. But this is a stage you want to see early. There's no way Mitch is going to go for that extra item here. No siree Bob. Look at Mitch using the claws. Wow, nice tail swipe of boss bass.
Very nice. And Raikou and Dave are both in Fire Fort right now. Dave's slightly ahead on that run.
And maybe that's the reason why Raiko and DaveLindo took the upper path, as we saw Fire Brothers on the bottom for Fred, and back to start he goes.
Oh, we found 7-8.
Yuck. 7-8. The Piranha stage, and Mitch in a little bit of trouble here.
Boss bass.
The boot. It would behoove him to take the pipe. Let's see if he does. He does.
He does, no question. You don't want to deal with that boss bass in this stage.
What do we have behind that giant question mark? Hey, that's pretty nice.
I like it.
Suit. Yeah, absolutely. Because that's going to despawn all of the riffraff. Unfortunately, loses to Tanuki Suit, but no matter. He's done with 7-8. Meanwhile, Raiko on the World 3 airship, which is the World 4 airship. We need 3 hits to take down Morton. There's 2 of them. There's 3 of them, as Mitch is now in 6-4.
And Raikou finishes. Raikou went for the off-screen wand grab, but didn't get it, and Dave is now finishing the fight himself.
Yep, he'll get his wand. We'll move on to World 4. Fred now in 5F2, and again, this is a must-win for Fred here. If Raiko wins, he'll be 3-3, and Fred will be eliminated from bracket stage contention.
In fact, at this point, it's looking very thin for Fred's chances here. He has to win if he wants to have any chance here.
You're correct. P-Wing there for Mitch. We've seen plenty of those. Remember, that was the item in the hand stages, and now another. Look at the 3 Hammer Brothers just lined up, and now they're not lined up. Now you see it, now you don't.
They were lined up. And Sledge Brothers are all going upstairs, so good luck getting to them.
Oh.
That's one way to get them.
That'll work just fine, too, because now you're not breaking the blitz. There's a Juke 'em Cloud.
Oh! Another boss pass.
Yeah, this is 3-7 that we saw Mitch on earlier, and DaveLindo, let's see if he decides to take the upper path. Nope, he's going to make a run for it. Look where Boss Bass is. He was right in the airwaves.
He's auto-scrolling. Yeah, he's upstairs.
Nice. Also, Raiko is going to take the coin heaven here. He's going to take the jackpot, and he's going to hope that the prize at the end is something that could help his chances against Fred Coughlin. What do we have? Wow!
Oh!
What a prize for raikourider. He definitely hit the jackpot there.
Well, that got interesting.
Absolutely it did, Cyclone. Now, speaking of interesting, we are, for the first time tonight, seeing 7F2 and Mitch using a P-Wing. Smart choice. We don't want to bother with that SMB3J84 pipe. Let's just go right on through it, and Mitch is just going to tackle the rest of the way. Shouldn't have any trouble with the boom boom fight. Raiko now in 6-4.
Mitch just tearing through the tunnel of tough love as it was turned about a couple weeks ago.
Really? That's an interesting nickname.
Someone called that in chat, and I went with it.
I like it. The Tunnel of Love, because, yeah, you have to duck through. I mean, if you're small, it's not that bad, but if you're big, chances are you're probably going to get hit. Here's the World 3 airship. We're going to be going up against Iggy. You think he's going to be a 5-hitter? I think he's going to be a 4-hitter. Let's see if either one of us.
Well, we want to see him, eat their vegetables a little bit here. They've been very weak so far in both races tonight.
Ooh, we're going the wrong
and they
way,
stay
though.
weak.
2 hits this time, and Mitch not quite high enough to get this skip this time.
Well, they're going with the whole gradual thing. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Maybe. We'll see.
It remains to be seen.
Well, if the pattern holds true, the next one should be 1, but we'll find out. You could be right with 3. Raiko now in 7F2. Fred taking care of a Sledgehammer brother, gets a P-Wing.
What is that line that Mitch is seeing right now?
No idea. And there's a Tanuki suit as the bonus from the princess. Which pipe is it going to be? Are we going to see the pipe with the view? Not yet.
Oh, card game.
Nice skip. How about this pipe? Is this the way out? No.
Well, he doesn't want to do it, but he's going to do the pipe stage. And we have an Angry Sun that's not going to get launched.
And Mitch going to use the pause strats.
Oh, the pause strats.
But took some damage there, but no matter. He is done with this Piranha stage. He gets another P-Wing. My goodness. No shortage of those.
It's almost like each seed has its own flavor of what it expects you to do, and P-Wings is the flavor of the day.
There's certainly worse flavors than that. It's a great item to have. Raiko now going to take his turn against Iggy. Just 2 hits required. Got him. Look out, Dave. Oh, nice dodge.
We found the end of the area here, but looks like he is still looking around.
We need a bridge.
Yeah, bridge is needed.
Yep, or as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say in True Lies, the bridge is out!
I'll let you do that. I don't have a good Arnold.
Oh, yeah, okay. I already did it. So moving on, here's the World 2 fort.
Oh, Fred almost taking a fall into the single tile of lava there, but manages to save it.
That was a
and then the thwomp gets him into the double tile of lava.
Dadgummit. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a clutch 7F2 performance there from DaveLindo. He'll be moving on to the fort. Mitch taking care of the boom boom in the spike fort. He'll be moving on.
Fred has resorted to P-Wing.
Can't blame him at this point. Raiko now in the Piranha stage here, which will get him his umpteenth P-Wing.
That's a number?
That's a made-up number. Unfortunately, that Fort 2 that Mitch just completed was not the fort required to build the bridge. He's going to have to find the other fort. Dave needs 2 hits. Oh, this is... Whoa! That was a close call. Dave was almost squeezed shut there, but was able to take down Iggy and move on to World 5. Close call.
Fred also making a quick duck through the tunnel of love there, giving up the P-Wing.
Nice job there for Fred. And this World 7, this seed is not a very fast seed at all. And again, remember that seeding implications are on the line for Mitch as he's trying to go not only 6-0, but potentially maybe get the #1 seed overall in the bracket stages. Here's the quicksand stage.
Well, you said it in the very first race here tonight. You said that the person who's going to like seeing Mitch having trouble with the longer seeds here is going to be Gamer Kyle, who's sitting in that #1 spot, we believe, right now. So the fact that we're already at 25 minutes and we're only on World 5 for Mitch, and he's in the lead, tells you this is going to be a long one.
Yeah, we still haven't seen Worlds 5 and 3 yet. Those potentially could be long. They could potentially be short, but they could potentially be long. Raiko is able to make that cycle. Here's the boom boom fight for him as Fred takes care of Iggy in World 4. He'll be moving on to World 5. Here's Fort Knox, but unfortunately for Mitch, no tail, so he's going to have to pick it up.
And he is off to find his tail, and we're going to get our little Tanuki suit here.
Yep, and it's always going to be a Tanuki suit, because you have to have some kind of tail to make it up to the top to face off against Boom Boom.
And Mitch takes to these guys. He gets in the pipe, and he's going to take on yet another Boom Boom. I mean, I know I say it every race, but you think Boom Boom will get sick of this by now?
Well, he's under contract, so he's got no choice.
Yeah.
Alright, so this should be what builds the bridge for Mitch, but I'm going to tell you what. Dave picked the right fort first, and when he gets to the end, he's going to be happy about this.
Yeah, this is going to give him some time.
Yeah, he's still going to be trailing Mitch, but he's going to cut some of the gap here. Now, Mitch using a P-Wing for this airship. It happens to be the World 5 airship. Ludwig von Koopa will be waiting for him, and we'll see if he's the high jump variety.
I can see Ludwig possibly eating up.
Well, guess what? It's the pyramid pattern. The pyramid pattern. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. It's going to be 2, 3.
Too easy.
Wow, the old. It's like the race car effect there. The palindrome. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, and he gets another animation skip. Mitch moving on to World 6.
And also being reminded that the terms and conditions of the randomizer have apparently been updated.
Which they're constantly being changing, so if you're being tested on it, well, you're going to have to restudy. Instant fort right off the top, and Mitch going to... Oh, he's going to take a chance here. He's hoping that fort's not required. He's got the resources. Is this a one and done? No.
No, it goes right below.
Wow. What a...
At Boss Bass.
Wow.
Boss Bass to the World 6 stage.
Yep. Well, Mitch knew he had to take a chance and hope that it would take him to the end, to improve his time, but the game just flat out saying no, giving him the cold shoulder.
He knows he's that fast time, and it's not happening. The seed's just saying, nope, not today.
Yep. Well, here's some Fire Brothers that are going to give Mitch a little bit more misery here, but he takes him down and gets a star. Here's 7-1 for DaveLindo. Let's see if he... Remember, this is the stage that gave him trouble in game number 1, but this time he'll have a chance to do the block clip. 6-8 now for Mitch. Raiko taking the pipe here, hoping he finds the way out. Fred's now in the quicksand stage here. Pretty close race between Raiko and Fred at the moment.
Dave gets the block clip.
Nice job. Dave able to dodge the fireworks there. He's currently sitting on 12 extra lives. Mitch sitting on 11 at the moment. Here's Raiko with his attempt. Mac and cheese with the Tanuki suit! Wow, very nicely done there for Raiko.
A little extra spice.
You better believe it. 7-4 now for Mitch.
Again, the auto scroll is off. This is normally an auto scroller stage.
Now, this is a stage where the frog suit can really come in handy. It enables you to swim fast. But having the auto scrolls makes this stage a little bit more tolerable.
Yeah, swimming through this thing with the having to wait for so long while you're bobbing in the jellyfish is not fun.
Absolutely here, and the star should help Mitch finish the rest of this 7-4. Just has to get through one more set of these gauntlets. Not a problem at all. Raiko now in the World 5 airship. We'll be delighted to discover one hit is all we need. I'll tell you what, Cyclone, maybe we saved the ultimate Baconator for Wendy, the 5-hitter. We haven't seen a 5-hitter yet all night. Maybe we've saved it here.
Save it for let the girl be the one to say, hey boys, you need to bulk up.
Absolutely. Here's the pyramid stage now for Mitch. DaveLindo just completed World 5 himself. I'll tell you what, if he was racing against raikourider, he would actually be in the lead. It's just, once again, he's currently up against the buzzsaw, but he has held his own. I will say this much.
He is holding his own. Like, he's having a much better run this second race, but it may be one of those perception bias type things where, yes, he's going against Mitch, who's a super skilled runner, but Mitch is having more trouble in this seed than I think he did in the first seed, and that's why it's a little bit closer of a race.
Absolutely, so, he's having more trouble. He had a lot of trouble in the beginning, and this has not been the speedy seed. Here's the first of the military branches. This is the super tanks level.
The easier of the two, in my opinion.
Well, speaking of military, here's another one. Raiko in the Navy, where he can put his mind at ease with the Tanuki suit.
Yeah, I think we saw that on another screen already. I forget who it was.
Well, you might be right. I missed it. Here's Fred at the cards. He's going to complete his hand. I believe this is 6-2 where DaveLindo is right now. Mitch going to use the Tanuki suit here. We find 7-3.
And he's through. What was that?
I've heard that sound effect before. Sometimes when you get a 1-up, it makes a weird jingle like that. I've never heard it just like in the middle of nowhere before. I'm gonna have to ask Mitch. I'm gonna have to ask Mitch how he did that.
Yeah, I thought it was a follow alert for a second.
So here's the World 1 airship here. So here is the Wendy fight. Come on, she's got to be a lot of HP, right? The 2 is not
Come
enough.
on, Wendy.
3. It's
no!
3. Oh my goodness. We only have one more world left to go, and we know it's got to be the earthquake variety for Mr. Roy. It's got to be 5. Oh, I just got an indication what that sound effect was from. That actually happens to be his donation readout. It happens to be the same sound as the reverse 1-up jingle. So good choice, by the way. I like that sound. The plane. It's Fantasy Island. And
just
it's a
because
Hammer Bros suit. I don't think we have seen one yet.
So now we just have to hope that he doesn't get a bunch of donations. But thank you for whoever did donate to mitchflowerpower. I'm sure he appreciates it.
Right, you are there, and we have now entered the level, Homer Simpson's favorite level. It is 5-5, where he can have all the donuts in the world.
Oh, look at all those donuts.
Yep.
The donut buffet.
Raiko in the pyramid. DaveLindo currently in 7-4 finds his star. Should have no trouble finishing off the rest of this level. Fred taking the pipe. He's unfortunately going to see that this is the troll pipe. 3-8 now on Mitch's side.
And we have an angry sun, but no boss pass, so I'll take it. That is a nice sprite.
Yep, it glitches out when it's about to unleash its wrath, but it's not going to unleash its wrath very long. Mitch done with 3-8. We have a boss bass that Fred's trying to outrun, which he does. Raiko now in the World 1 airship. Again, it's going to be a 3-hit normal Wendy. No Baconators for her tonight. And oh, what a terrible break for DaveLindo.
Oh.
The beetle shell didn't break the bricks. Here's the World 1 fort for Mitch.
Well, the good news for this level is you have to have the beetle shells in, otherwise you can't complete it.
Yeah, and Fred's going to be in big trouble if you don't have those beetle shells. Mitch trying to do the clip, and he gets it on the second try. Very nice.
I didn't know that clip existed in that level.
Oh, absolutely it exists. It's just you don't see it very often because you're either taking the normal way or you're flying to get that item. And people who have Nest Cardinalities emotes, let's see those commands in chat. Tanuki suit finish for Raiko against Wendy. That's hard to do.
Come on.
Now, we'll see if DaveLindo can follow suit here. He'll have the same opportunity. Ooh. Gets the star. Mitch gets a star of his own. Here's DaveLindo's chance. Can he get the kill? 2. 1 more. No!
Oh!
In the last second, he loses it. Gets picked off. Rip the commands. Oh, you hate to see that.
Random candy ring just half appearing in the middle of nowhere as he gets the hit.
Boy, she just got it off in time. That
cost him his command.
Yep, just got it off in time. Oh, well. But Dave does survive. He'll be moving on to World 7. Mitch clears that board, moving on to the next one. Raiko in 3-8. Just has a little bit left to go. Fred currently in 7-3. Ooh, and here's 6-5. We saw Mitch be very impressive with 6-5. This time, no boss bass. We know what he's got in mind. He's going to try for that clip again. Nope, doesn't get it on the first try. Raiko getting the fireworks with 5 extra lives. He's got 23 extra lives. 3rd try clip. Nice job for Mitch. And Dave, no
bad
chance.
Jump from Dave. Yeah, he made a jump he had no chance of succeeding at.
Yeah, he needed to be a little bit more patient. And look at all the Hammer Brothers shoots. He's going to use one here. Not a bad idea.
Why not?
Mitch already at the end of World 7, where Roy's our boy is going to await. Are we going to go completely devoid of 5 hitters the entire night? We're about to find out.
We haven't had a 4-hitter either.
We've had 1.
No, not on this seed.
Right. It's been all 1, 2, or 3. 2 is not enough.
3!
Again! Nobody was stronger than 3, and Roy goes down. Mitch going on to World 8. Can you believe it?
I would say I should re-roll that, except it's been a long enough seed as it is.
Well, you dealt a hand of 4 trays, a couple of deuces, and an ace. That's a great poker hand, but that's not a great commentator's hand for Koopa HP. Better luck next time.
Yeah, if you're playing Texas Hold'em, there's a 4 of a kind in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm holding the pocket 3s. There's the community board 3, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. And now we go to World 8. No locks to begin with. Potentially 2 chances of building bridges, but we're going to have to get through the Piranha Run or the Chomper Run or the Nipper Run or whatever you want to call it. Let's see if Mitch can pull off this 1 cycle. And yes, people in chat predict how many bridges it is going to take. Mitch does get the 1 cycle.
Oh, wow. Nicely done.
Perfect run there. We saw 2 bridges last time. I think we're going to see 2 bridges again.
I kind of want to see a 3, but we're going to see a 1.
Yeah, you're probably right. We're gonna see maybe something big, and it's gonna be a disappointment. We have World 8 fort here in World 8. Could be the gatekeeper here.
Well, that seems interesting. This was the gatekeeper in the first seed.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if this was the gatekeeper here in the second seed here. We have 6F1 now on DaveLindo's side. World 1 fort Fred is currently in right now as he gets a star. It's just flying through here. He's going to try to get the 1 cycle here. We'll take the damage boost from the Disco Waffle. Success!
And just to be clear, by bridges, we didn't mean the hand bridge, because the hand stages are randomized like everything else, and they're elsewhere. But we are talking about the bridges on the map leading to Bowser, that final map.
Raiko's taking on Roy right now. Gets him. He's going to be moving on to World 8 at 5 F1 on Mitch's side.
Not a fun level to do.
Plenty worse forts, but yeah, this is definitely not a fort I'd want to play. There's 2 hits and 3. Meanwhile, Dave is currently in the tower. I don't even think we saw that on Mitch's side.
No, I don't think we did.
Raiko moving on to World 8. Mitch taking the pipe. Let's see where it takes him to. I see no locks here. I've still not seen any locks. What?
We have a hand stage on Hand Bridge.
1 bridge.
That's the first 2 hand stages are on World 6. Third one is on Hand Bridge. If you need to go that way and a hand wants to drag you in, you're going.
Now, and Mitch is going to pay the intentional 100 coins because this is the representation of the army stage, so he knows he does not have to complete that one. And there's the locks, and there he gets grabbed. What's it going to be? A hand stage! There it is! He's going to play it out, and he's going to be successful. He's going to get another P-Wing out of this deal.
I see I got my classification mixed up. 2 of the hand stages appeared in World 6, but they were not Hand Bridge stage.
Oh, I see. I got you. Hey, the GIMP Extreme LOC Special, a World 6 fort in World 8. It happens to be 6F2, the Ice Fort. Gotta have it.
One of the best ones to have in World 8, in my opinion. It's horrible. It's cold. It's chilly. It's not fun. It's
appropriate for something that Bowser would not want to have because, you know, he's the Fire Koopa. I think Ice would probably not be healthy for him. But Boom Boom goes down on Mitch's side. He'll move on.
You may have noticed that Boom Boom jumps straight up when he's on Ice as well. He doesn't jump towards you. A little bit of a twist that the developers threw in to try to make that fight a little different.
And he gets grabbed by another hand stage, which this time, oh no, 5-3 beta.
Would you like to have a hand?
You know something? I think this is our first beta stage all night.
Might be. I might have had one earlier and just missed it, but...
Maybe. It's the first one I remember seeing. As Raiko's now in the World 8 fort. He gets the 1 cycle. Nice job. fcoughlin done with World 7, so he's going to be joining Raiko in World 8.
Chat confirming it's the first beta.
It is the first one. I thought so. All right. Mitch done with the 5-3 beta. So, whoa, a Fire Brother at the end, but no harm, no foul. He'll be moving on.
Random big
in 2-2.
Random Big Bertha swimming in 2-2.
Yep. No problem there for Dave. And here's the Air Force. That's the third branch.
And he gives up the P-Wing immediately.
Now Mitch is going to try and do it the traditional way. No P-Wing. Shouldn't be too terribly much of a problem for Mitch. He is flying through these airships. Raiko now in that same 6F2. And, you know, he's not all that far behind Mitch. I know he's not going up against him, but he's not that far behind.
If those 2 meet later on, that could be an interesting race.
Very well could be.
That is assuming raikourider gets to the brackets.
Right, he still has to get there first. And if he does hold on against Fred, he goes to 3-3, and it would keep his hopes alive. Now Mitch is going to check to see if he has successfully built the bridge.
He has the suit ready, and he did get the bridge, so he's off.
All right, so Mitch on his way to being 6-0 in group play here, unless something really disastrous happens. He gets the first try clip.
Perfect again. Now again, the time is not going to be anywhere near what he needs. It's a 43 minutes right now before we get into Bowser. It's going to be sub 44 possibly if he gets the second clip here. But still,
he gets the double, no.
Yeah, very good run through a very difficult seed.
Yeah, this was not a Sonic the Hedgehog type of seed. This was one where you had to earn it. But Mitch having some trouble getting this clip here. Wants no part of that door. Raiko is able to successfully navigate his way through 5-3 beta. Mitch still having trouble getting the clip. At what point do you cut your losses?
Yeah, he fell down to the next level, and that's not where he wanted to go.
Nope, here's the Air Force now for Raiko. And DaveLindo has just completed World 7. He's on his way to World 8 as well, but I think it is still going to be too little, too late, unless again, something really bizarre happens on Mitch's side.
Unless something really bad happens and he runs out of time trying to do the clip or something like that. At this point, I would just give up and move on.
Oh, I would too, but he does eventually get the clip, so he doesn't have to deal with the statues or the fireballs in Bowser's penultimate room. So, one more time, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to say, hi, Bowser!
Here's Bowser!
And bye, Bowser. We both did our catchphrases there. I love it.
There we go.
Get your GGs out. For Mitch, he has a perfect 6-0 in Group C. We'll have a very high ranking into the bracket stages. Not an easy seed this time around, to say the least, but he did it. 6-0 is Mitch.
And official time, 44 minutes and 32 seconds. So still a sub 45, but oh man, that was not easy to do.
And bye, Bowser. We both did our catchphrases.
And we're hearing ourselves, so we better mark them done.
I know, I heard myself too there. Raiko should be on his way to Bowser's castle. The bridge should be complete for him, which it is. And I'll tell you what, he really kept pace with Mitch. If those two would have been at it, it would have been a thriller for sure.
Yeah, that would have been a very good race on the top for sure. But we're gonna have to see what happens
Ladies and gentlemen, yes.
Next. Yeah, I think we have a company.
You're right. We do have our winner, Mitch Flowerpower. Perfect 6-0 in the group play. GG to you. Congratulations. But this seed, you really had to earn it.
Yeah, I didn't like this seed at all. Not at all. The Hammer Brothers right at the start. I think didn't I die like 3 times in a row?
Yeah, you were down in 1 extra life. You went ahead. You did something that you probably do once in a blue moon, and that was take the fireworks to get 5 extra lives, which I certainly didn't blame you at that point.
No, I definitely had to. Yeah.
We'll talk about your race here in just a moment, but Raiko's about to go 3-3 in his group play. Fred's unfortunately sees the bad news. He's got to build the bridge, and unless Raiko makes some mistakes here, Fred is going to unfortunately be eliminated from bracket stage play. Is there a laser? No laser there for Raiko, so here we go one more time. Here's Bowser.
And he gets to stick around a little longer.
So the first seed, you really jetted through the first 7 worlds, but then the old great equalizer happened in World 8, and what were you thinking at that point when you realized it was becoming a full clear World 8?
I was honestly just hoping that it wasn't behind that one lock behind the hand, because we did the first 2 fortresses, and I was like, sweet, this is going to be a fast world. Then I saw a lock on the hand bridge, and then behind the lock was a pipe, and I was like, oh no, here it comes. Yeah. And then I traveled all around World 8, beating every level that I came across. I had no clouds left, and the lock didn't break.
World 8 things, yep. Get your GGs out for raikourider. He sweeps tonight against Fred, goes to 3-3, and keeps his hopes of making it to the bracket stages very much alive.
He almost gets hung up as he jumps out for Bowser's final smash through as well, but he does get through. Official time, 47 minutes and 4 seconds.
Very nicely done there for raikourider. So you knew what was at stake tonight, Mitch. Not only the 6-0, but a shot maybe at getting to the number 1 seed in the bracket stages. Were you thinking that at all during either of your races?
No, I don't. What do you mean the number 1 seed?
Fastest time, because you were 6-0. There's a few others that are 6-0. I believe Gamer Cal coming into tonight was holding on to the number 1 seed. I'm not sure if that is still the case now, or if you maybe have taken it. But
yeah,
did that thought occur to you at all when you were racing?
In the first seed, I didn't know what somebody had for the first seed, but I did know that I would be up there if I managed to nail that like 28 minute or so, because I entered World 8 at like 26 minutes or something, right?
I'm thinking sub 30,
25, 26, somewhere in there, yeah.
You're right. Yes,
yeah, exactly.
Then, of course, World 8, doing World 8 things, as it normally does.
I took a chance on the first seed as well with the, I did the triple cloud in the cloud section in 5, and I really think that saved me a lot of time.
Oh, absolutely it did. So we have some simultaneous Air Force action going on between DaveLindo and Fred, so it's a battle for 3rd place between these two. DaveLindo kind of kept up with you for the most part, but then World 7 was when he ran into some problems, and you pretty much closed the door on that race.
Yeah, I kind of had a couple problems in World 7 as well, but mine was only I just did the wrong fortress, so at least I didn't, get crazy lost or anything. Right.
Right. Stand by here.
Yeah, I think raikourider has joined us as well.
Indeed, raikourider, GG to you.
My first question is actually to Mitch Flowerpower.
Yo.
With all those water levels that were in the seed, where'd you find Gravity Suit?
Oh my god. Did you get pulled in by that one hand level? That's one of the what is it? It's one of one of those levels that's not in the game. Did you guys remember that? Even the commentators. I was in there and the game was going like 3 FPS.
Oh yeah, that one.
That was a nightmare.
That was a level where gravity would have been really helpful.
Oh yeah. I didn't get past any hands either. I got.
Speaking of not getting past any hands, DaveLindo having all kinds of trouble finally gets past the 5 F3 hand, and now he's going to take the pipe. Great idea. You don't want to be having to go through that hand again. Fred, about to wrap up his run, though. He is in Bowser's Castle with the Hammer Bros suit equipped. Let's see if he decides to go for the clip or top route. Top route it is. Bridge built, though, for DaveLindo, so we got a potential photo finish looming here between these two.
Well, it looks like Fred is a little bit ahead, so unless he has bad luck getting to Bowser...
the laser gets through it!
The laser! Oh!
Wow! Hi, Bowser! And bye, Bowser. Get your GGs out for Fred. Wow, how did he get through that laser?
And Dave loses his hammer suit, but he's going to probably go ahead and finish this anyway.
Yeah, he's in good shape to finish it. But yeah, that laser always surprises you. And this time, Fred not getting hit. Dave going to take the upper path. He's going to try to clip. He is going to try to clip. Let's see if he
Why not?
He gets
nice. Second try. Nicely
Very
done.
nice.
Wow, that's so good. It took me like 30 tries.
I know.
Yeah, you were having trouble with that on that last clip.
I was just like yelling in my office. I was like, how is this possible? Like, I should have at least accidentally got it. It's good times.
My highlight of my entire race was probably first try 7-1 clip in a Tanuki.
Ooh, that's always feels
Yeah, we
good.
saw that.
That's what you got to be careful. You got to stay out of the line of fire. DaveLindo down to small, but as long as he stays out of the line of fire, he should be able to complete the rest of this.
Because if I remember correctly, if you have a tail that's sub-pixel perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, tail with the clip is a nightmare. It's awful.
Yep, because then you're going into CV2 mechanics with the subpixels.
Oh yeah.
Down goes
And
Bowser.
down.
Get your GGs out for DaveLindo. Very solid run, not too far behind Fred Coughlin in that race. Give it up for all 4 runners tonight. Please make sure you give them a follow. Excellent work by all of them.
Definitely. Great race. We're going to go ahead and get both other runners in here if they wish to. And see if we can all chat about this.
That was a really long seed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seed
It
two.
was.
I didn't like that scene at all.
Mr. Fred Coughlin is in the commentator's booth with us. GG, my friend.
Thanks. That was a tough race there. Well done to all of you guys there. You guys are insane. You guys are absolutely insane.
Thank you for this,
I would argue that the only person in here that's actually insane at this game is Mitch, but
Well, not a randomizer. Dude, I got my ass handed to me on that seed. I died like 4 times before I even finished the level at the beginning. I died on the hammer.
Yeah, you had the worst Hammer Brother screen with the water, and when you're small, I don't care how good you are, everyone's going to struggle with it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But thank you, that's very nice.
Absolutely. So, Raiko, congratulations to you. So you won both games. You go to 3-3. That keeps your hopes alive of making it to the bracket stages. And I know exactly who you're going to be rooting for in a certain matchup coming up. That's the creator himself, Mr. Fred Coughlin.
my hopes aren't... No offense, Fred, my hopes aren't too high, but I hope you get there. That would be exciting, because it would force a 3-way race-off, I think.
Well, here's the situation for you. If Fred wins both games against DLP, you advance automatically. If there's a split, you and DLP will have a playoff.
Ooh.
So yeah, there are some implications between Fred and DLP. So Fred could very well play Ultimate Spoiler against DLP. Now, DaveLindo, you are not out of the running just yet. It is going to be tougher, of course, but if you are able to sweep Lunatic Acid and go to 3 and 3, knock him to 2 and 4, you could still make the bracket stages yourself.
Nice, nice. Good, make those brackets.
Absolutely. So yeah, we still got a lot of possibilities ahead of us in the final races to come before we move on to the bracket stages and the brand new flag. So
Yeah.
any other
there he
comments
is.
for any of you runners tonight?
Yeah, just by the way, Dave has just joined us, so all runners are in here now. GG, Dave.
Yeah, GG, Dave. We'll get him up in just a moment.
Yeah,
so any of you guys want to chime in? Any other thoughts about this seed? Anything, any moments, anything crazy that might have happened that you want to go over through either of the seeds, either of the races?
The first one, I felt like I played just really, really bad. I was just not on my game at all in the first seed. I was really surprised that I finished as well as I did. The double hammer in 3. What did you think of that? Because I was getting flooded with hammers early, and then I just never saw any for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, I know there was one hammer behind 3-7, which we saw one player utilize, and yeah, that really, really helped you out there because nobody plays 3-7 typically unless it's like the first level, get that early item. But yeah, you played the 3-7 coin heaven, got that extra hammer. Yeah, that I think that definitely did help you out in this scene.
Wait, the coin heaven in 3-7 had a hammer?
Yes,
Sure
It did.
Oh yeah. Dang. Oh my gosh. Yeah, in that seed, in seed 2, I doubled down. Okay, when I entered World 3, I used the cloud across the fort, and then I used a hammer, and the music box from World 7 carried over, so the bro was asleep. But the two pipes led to each other, so I just wasted all of those things, man. That one irked me.
Yeah, but I can understand. I can understand why you made that move, and I know you were trying to complete the seed as fast as you can, but it was just one of those situations. The game wasn't letting you have it.
Nope, you are absolutely right.
Oh, so you double hammered the second seed? I double hammered the first one because we got flooded with hammers early.
We did, yeah. No, I double hammered the second one. In the first seed, I was able to use all of my hammers really optimally. I had to wait until I used one in World 5, and then I used the rest just later in the runs, because 6 wasn't working, and World 1 was a bridge. I don't know, it was crazy. Good times,
that first seed was actually, you got so many Hammer Brothers suits, so many hammers. It was almost like the game was saying, hey, I want you to go fast for once. But
yeah,
that World 8 was just the crutch that held everyone up.
Yeah, the full clears, man. The full clears are nuts.
I felt like I played really well in the second race, though. Probably the only race I felt I've played well in the whole tournament.
You were actually running very close to Mitch on that seed. You were only about a couple minutes behind him in that race.
Yeah, very close. All right, well, thank you guys for having me, and congratulations, everyone. I had a good time, and I will see you guys for the brackets. Thank you, commentators. Thank you, racers. And especially thank you, everyone who is watching. I hope you guys have a good night. All right.
Congratulations to you on getting a 6-0 record, and good luck in the brackets.
Thank you very much, guys.
So, any last thoughts that anyone else has before we start to wrap up here?
I do have one more question for Fred.
Go ahead.
Okay.
How's the progress looking on shapes?
I've been holding off on any changes in case there were things I need to do during the tournament to fix bugs, because I don't want to introduce new logic in the middle of the tournament.
Okay, Fred. All right.
I wasn't talking about Mitch.
Raiko, now that you've picked Fred's brain, I've got to pick Fred's brain. Fred, when is 3F1 door shuffle going to happen?
Oh, that's something that's on the radar. It's just a matter of me understanding how things work for the pointers and being able to move them around without completely breaking the game. Because if I do that, I also got to do 8 fort.
Oh, so you are considering 8 Ford as well. Nice.
Oh, if you're gonna do, I mean, if you're gonna move these doors around, you gotta move as many of the doors around as you can. You gotta make this a lot more interesting.
Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go all out. Why stop at 1 Ford? Do them both.
Exactly.
Good stuff though. Fun races.
Always a good time when you have Mario 3 Randomizer going on. So we should probably start talking about other races coming up on the schedule for those who might have just seen this for the first time and might be thinking, hey, I want to see more of this. Well, let's do that. I have a list up right now, and I can actually tell you that even though the channels are not decided yet for any of these races, there are 2 races happening tomorrow at 8 p.m. between Jay Coper and Paradox, and at 11:30 p.m. between, well, Jay Coper again, and Magu is adorable. So Jay Coper having 4 of his seeds tomorrow in his 6 for this group matchup.
Yeah, certainly. Should be a lot of fun here, and I'm looking forward to a lot of it. Of course, we have a couple on Wednesday as well. We'll go a little bit further into the calendar. At 8 p.m. Eastern, Johnny Link versus One Fine Day. And at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we have a 2-for-1 special. Dust Minion versus Zodiac Dread. Ace of Arrows versus Prior 57 should be a lot of fun. So
I think it's Tuesday there as well. Johnny Link versus One Fine Day, and then another one of those 2-for specials. Like
we saw today,
no,
like we just did.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Dust Minion, Zodiac Dread, Ace of Arrows, and Prior, and that's our 2-for special at 8:30 on Tuesday. So yeah, look forward to that one as well.
Wednesday actually. You did Tuesday.
Oh, Wednesday. Sorry, I keep thinking today's Sunday. I'm gonna explain that. I live in Canada. In Canada, it's a holiday today, Family Day. So I keep thinking today's Sunday.
It's a holiday. It's a federal holiday here today, but I still had to work. So
yeah, so I'm getting mixed up. I thought you were reading the ones at the bottom of the list, which is Dust Minion versus Dr. J, PhD, Narfman Zero versus Ace of Arrows. Those are Thursday. That's my goof. Sorry.
That's all right. But those are all the exciting races that are coming your way in the next few days here. Check the listings to find out which Speed Gaming those races are going to be. So, Cyclone, any final thoughts about tonight before we call it here at Speed Gaming?
Well, that second seed was a much more difficult seed than we expected. I will be honest, I did roll that one. I tend to roll a lot of these nasty ones for some reason.
Well,
but yeah, I delivered another one, so there you go. And I'm looking forward to seeing more randomizer. I know I'm already signed up to call the Thursday one with you, so yep, looking forward to seeing that one. May do another one the next couple of days as well. We'll have to see how my schedule holds because it's going to be a very busy week for me. But a lot of exciting randomizer ahead, a lot of exciting races to get to see here. So make sure you stay tuned. Come back for all the randomizer. If you are watching on YouTube, another race is coming right up, so stay tuned.
Absolutely. So the brackets, they are starting to take shape here in the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament. Just a few more races left to go before we go into bracket stage play. With that is going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming. For our 4 runners tonight, Mitch Flowerpower, DaveLindo, raikourider, and fcoughlin. Please make sure you give all 4 of them a follow. For my commentator partner, Cyclone, please make sure you also give him a follow.
And give LOZ a follow as well.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23 Cyclone. You have the last word, my friend.
Follow Speed Gaming, SpeedGaming 236 as well while we're talking about following channels. Other than that, I was going to give you the last words, so I'm just going to say good night. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you're watching YouTube, stay tuned. If you're watching live, we're going to pop up another channel moment probably. So have a good night, everyone.